First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Yahweh is the name of who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is the name of who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashim means in the name, Rakak means spirit, and Quadash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Just wanted to go over this quick news article of an event that's going to happen in a couple days, right, Lord willing, which is a government shutdown, okay? Because what they've been doing is they've just been kicking the can, right, down the street, down the road, over and over again. And here it is that we're reaching that can again, right? And it always goes into the debt, right, the funding. And let's actually get an article right here real quick and go into it, right? Because I kind of know what it's talking about, but I don't know the exact specifics. But I remember they were doing this with the debt ceiling like a couple months ago, around, I think it was around March, April, May, June. One of those months during the summer, it was the same thing with the debt ceiling, right? They're over here telling, oh, government might shut down. Ultimately, through the spirit, we know that this economy is going to crash. That's why I'm making this video, right, blowing that trumpet. Because like I've said before, right, eventually one of these videos is going to be the one that really calls it, right? One of these events is going to be the one that really starts that snowball, and the snowball effect starts going, okay? But let's read right here. It says the country is 4 days away from a federal government shutdown that could impact millions of Americans, as infighting among House Republicans has so far prevented Congress from passing spending bills. Okay, when you understand that this is just theatrics, right? This is a movie, and that ultimately the right wing and the left wing are part of the same bird. Okay, Republicans, Democrats are all controlled, right? You understand what's going on. Okay, it's either fear mongering, what they're doing right now, or they're actually telling you what's about to happen. Okay, but all of this is controlled. When they say they're fighting in the House, they can't come to a conclusion. It's all to just bring panic and fear in society. But it says House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is looking for progress this week as the lower chamber tries to move a series of appropriations bills that ultimately determine the budget for the federal government. A deal must be reached this week to avoid an October 1st shutdown. Okay? It says, meanwhile, the Senate is trying to move a continuing resolution, a stopgap spending bill that would temporarily fund federal agencies for another 45 days and avoid a shutdown. But it would come with a potential risk to McCarthy, who has hardline conservatives in the House calling for his removal if he works with Democrats or passes a continuing resolution. Here's what it means for you, okay? So, if the government shut down, your Social Security would be gone. Right, FDA would be delayed, occupational safety and health administration. People that are tied to the government, that have government jobs, would pretty much lose them for a little bit. And ultimately, that's prophecy, right? That's actually prophecy that people are going to lose their jobs, right? You're going to be out here jobless, right? Just worrying about survival. I'm actually going to hit some scriptures going into that. But it says food assistance programs could also see delays, and people who need travel across the country and around the world could see disruptions to air travel, right? There would be chaos going over America in the flash of an eye, right? Instantly. And this is all prophetic, right? Ultimately, we know the end game. We know that Babylon, America, this system is done, right? They're just delaying the inevitable, okay? But once again, blowing that trumpet and prophesying against this kingdom. Let's see if we can get anything more. Right. This is why they want. Let's read it. This says Senate's continuing resolution would fund government through November 17th. The Senate continuing resolution released Tuesday evening funds the government through November 17th. And this is why they want more money. It says some of the funding listed in the package includes $4.5 billion allocated to Ukraine. Okay? And that's why they want to raise more money. Why they can't come to a conclusion is because the money that they want to send. Right? They're over here spending $4.5 billion sending over there to Ukraine, right? But they can't help their modern day Joe Schmo out here in the streets, right? You literally have cities that are lined up full of tents, right? Tent cities where there's homeless people begging for food, begging for water. And here you have the American government sending $4.5 billion to Ukraine for a lost cause, right? Ukraine is not going to win that war. We all know that, okay? Russia's already dominating, right? Since the beginning, they were dominating, and that was a losing war, or a losing battle. But here it is, America, right? Just twisting that pain. It says $6 billion in emergency funding to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for the Disaster Relief Fund, right? I wonder why they need emergency funding for FEMA, right? The Federal Emergency Management Agency for the Disaster Relief Fund, right? So here you have Ukraine, the other you have FEMA, right? Which we know how that's going to be tied into, right? FEMA camps. When shit hits a fan, there's chaos. What they do is they release FEMA, right? FEMA gets an authority. It says $2.9 billion for Federal Aviation Administration's operations. And I don't know how you could tie that one, to be honest, but everything has a correlation here, right? It's all for the game plan to bring that chaos, right? Because their whole game plan is order out of chaos. They bring the problem, and then the people beg for a solution, right? They bend their backs over for a solution, and that's exactly what these elites want, okay? That solution is going to be the chip. Okay, but I think the point has been established. Let's get into scriptures now. Right here are the scriptures I'm going to go into. I start at Ezekiel 35 and verse 2. Right, because what I'm doing right now, this is prophecy. Let's get that in Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 1. It says, "Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." Okay, and Mount Seir is talking about the Edomites. Right, that's the land that the Edomites used to live in, was Mount Seir. So what I'm doing right now, blowing this trumpet, right, warning the people, okay, of something that could go on. This is actually prophecy. And I will read two more scriptures. It says, "And say unto it, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate," right, by the way of those nuclear missiles. It says, "I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end." Okay, that's why he's coming to destroy this place, is because what these people have done to the nation of Israel, the Israelites, so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans, right? And he's going to keep on shedding blood till Yahushua comes back. Right? Let's see if this government shutdown actually happens, and see how these people are going to be out here in the streets. Right? Completely going crazy. Right? The entire economy is going to take a hit. But let's go to the next scripture now. Jeremiah chapter 51. Quick lesson. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse... I'll start at verse 7. It says, "Babylon," right, America, "hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." Right, and the wine is going into the philosophy of America. Right, the nations have drunk of that philosophy, and they're mad because they realize that everything America pushes is complete destruction. A destructive mindset, a destructive way of living, a destructive everything. Right? And these nations are realizing that, hey, this place is not benefiting them, right? These FRN notes, right, backed by nothing, is not benefiting them. And ultimately, it's going to hit the end of the road, right? It's going to reach a point where it's inevitable, right? This system is going to crash. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." Right? That stink. Right? That judgment has reached unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because the atrocities that have been done in this land, right, are phenomenal. Right? Surpasses anything that has ever happened. Any type of wickedness that has ever happened. So for that reason, this place is going to get destroyed. As it says, we would have healed her, but she is not healed. Okay? This place is going down. And a precept to that, let's get that in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2, it says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then a sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay, it's going to come instantly, right? Out of nowhere, that destruction is going to come. Right when they're saying everything is okay, right? Peace and safety, boom, right? They're going to flip that switch and everything just hit the fan. Okay? It says, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." Right? And that's what we're doing right here, is we're watching. Right? We're tying these events to prophecy and seeing if it's going to happen. Right? Lord willing, Abratazah, this does happen. Because the faster the society collapses, the faster this earth gets put in order and righteousness abounds. Okay? But let's go now to Ecclesiastes and get into the work part of it. Ecclesiastes. Man, I'm losing it. I just went over it like 7 times. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grandeurs cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened." Right? And that's going into these times that we're coming into. Right? People are going to be trembling. The grinders ceasing because there are few is going into the work. And it says, "And those that look out the windows be darkened." Right? When it's talking about those looking out the window, it's talking about those that look into the future. Right? That are looking for what is going to be America. Right? All they're going to see is complete darkness. Right? They're not going to see this place coming back. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." Right? "And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." Right? All your entertainment, right? Your sports, your daily things that you can do to just have pleasure, enjoy yourself, right? That daughters of music is going to be brought low. You ain't going to see no Jake out here rapping. It says, "When the sounding of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird." Right? That sound of the grinding is going into work. It's going to be very, very few workers. As they say, essential workers. And you're going to be waking up to the sounds of the animals. Right? You're going to hear that not the chicken, that rooster in the morning. Right? That's what it's going into. Right? Exactly what we could see in a couple days. Right? The beginning of it. And if we go to 2nd Esdras, right? 2nd Esdras, once again, 15 and 16, both these chapters go into these times we're coming into. Right? Woe be unto Babylon and Asia, woe be unto Egypt and Syria, all names for America. It says, or actually the entire world, but a lot of those names are for America. But if we go to verse, let's go to verse, Salakia, verse 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." Right? In these times that we're coming into, we're not going to be out here working, right? Going to your 9 to 5, waking up to your 7 a.m. alarm, right? Completely dreading your life. Nah, it's going to be a whole action movie, right? To those that have faith, hey, this is going to be a whole movie, right? Even though we're going to be shitting ourselves, and sometimes at the end of the day, we know our reward, right? If we stay faithful. It says, "He that occupieth merchandise is he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he shall not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain." Right? So all the work, everything you're doing prior to when these times came, you're just going to have to give it away. Right? If you're out here playing basketball, you're going to have to give it away. If you're going and working at Walmart, working at the cash register, you're going to have to put it away. If you're over here investing in the stock market, hey, that's not going to make you money no more. Right? Everything that everybody is doing is going to come to a halt, and people are going to be worrying about survival. It says, "For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children." Right? This is all that's coming. Okay? Well, you ain't going to be working in these times soon to come. And I remember I saw a TikTok of this lady. She was going into, I can't wait till the world just ends so I don't have to go to my 9 to 5 and I don't have to worry about my rent no more. Right? She was in that spirit. Well, what does it say, man? Amos, let's get that in Amos 5. Amos 5. And I'll go to verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. Right? It's not going to be an easy time. Okay? When we're in these times, hey, working, you're going to wish you're over here back on your 9 to 5. Right? These modern jakes, right? These people that don't know any better, they're going to be over here begging to just go back to the regular 9 to 5 and how things used to be, right? The normal way. Right? Because, hey, as it says, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Right? But these are all things that we might see in a couple days, right? The beginning of sorrows. Lord willing, this place does shut down, right? Lord willing, man. Let's just watch and see. If it doesn't happen September or October 1st, hey, ultimately we know it's coming at one point or another. And that's why we have faith and we stay diligent, because we know these prophecies to be true. But hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of great mills that taught me his truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.